Hello everybody, it is Stella from New Hope Wellbeing and we are back with another video. Here we go, sorry, just rearrange that angle a little bit. And today we are going to be discussing the Titan goddess of the moon, Selene. Now I have done another video about her previously, so this will be a part 2 video. And she is one of my favourite goddesses. So Selene was the Titan goddess of the moon. She's depicted as a woman riding side saddle on a horse or driving the chariot drawn by a pair of winged steeds. Her lunar sphere or crescent was either a crown set upon her head or the fold of a raised shining cloak. She was sometimes said to drive a team of oxen, and her lunar crescent was likened to a pair of bull's horns. And if you do see some of the old depictions, it is literally like a circle with, well, kind of like the crescent moon coming up this way. So it does reminiscent like a bull's horn there. Selene's great love was the shepherd prince Endymion. The beautiful boy was granted eternal youth and immortality by Zeus and placed in a state of eternal slumber in a cave near the peak of Mount Latmos. His heavenly bride consorted with him there in the night. A number of other goddesses are also associated with the moon. However, it's only Selene who represented the old Greek who was represented by the old Greek poets representing the actual moon incarnate. Other Greek moon goddesses do include Hecate, Artemis, and sometimes even Hera. In Greek mythology, Selene was traditionally depicted as a beautiful young woman with more paler than usual skin. So basically that of the moon, so that pale white of the moon. Upon her head was the crown, as discussed, that would represent that crescent moon, looking like the bull horns. In antiquity, Selene would also often be depicted either riding upon a bull or upon the silver chariot drawn by 2 winged horses. This chariot was used by the Greek goddess of the moon when each night she would traverse the sky, just as her brother Helios would during the day. And he was obviously the god of this. He's a god of the sun. In ancient Greece, the moon was relatively important, for it measured the passage of time. In ancient Greek months, the ancient Greek months were made up of 3 10-day periods based on the phases of the moon. The moon was also thought to bring forth the dew needed to nourish plants and animals. While Selene was not the most prominent of the gods of the Greek pantheon, and other female figures from Greek mythology were often talked of in relation to the moon rather than Selene, such as Hecate and Artemis. She was, however, still very important in relation to being the actual moon incarnate. Her most probably well-known story is her love story with the shepherd Endymion. I'm always saying his name wrong, I'm so sorry. In one version of the myth, he is a shepherd with virtually unmatched beauty, and he was comparable in looks to that of Narcissus. Working as a shepherd, he would often be found tending his flocks at night, and so the beauty of the mortal was observed by Selene in her nightly passage. Taken by the beauty of the shepherd, she fell in love and would long to spend eternity with him, though she was immortal and he would age and eventually die. Zeus had no desire to make the shepherd immortal in the traditional sense, but instead came upon a solution where the shepherd would neither age nor die, and enlisting the help of hypnosis, he was placed into an eternal sleep. Thereafter, he would sleep in a cave upon Mount Latmos, a cave which Selene would visit every night. He would sleep with his eyes open so that he too could gaze upon his lover. The unusual relationship between the two would bring a forth offspring for the pair, with her giving birth to the Menai, which are the 50 goddesses of the lunar months. There were 50 Menai, for there were 50 lunar months between Olympic Games. Now, Endymion was not Selene's only lover. She would go on to have other children with other lovers, but he's most definitely her greatest love. Some of the writers in antiquity would write of the 4 Horai, or the 4 seasons, being born to Selene and her after relationship with Helios, which is, if you think about it, a bit disturbing, because that's a brother-sister relationship. Whilst with Zeus, she might be the mother of Pandia, the beautiful goddess of the full moon, Ursa, the goddess of morning dew, and Nemea, the nymph of the Nemean spring. Selene may have also given birth to a mortal son, although no father is named. This son, Musaeus, becomes a legendary poet often connected with Orpheus. She was worshipped at the new and full moons, and to this day there are still those who do worship her at new and full moons. So that is a little bit more about one of my favourite goddesses, Selene. I do hope you enjoyed that. So she didn't have necessarily any temples as such, but you don't need a temple when you can literally look at the moon and see her there. So in that sense she's a much more visible goddess than some of the others. Because like I said, all you need to do is gaze upon the moon, and there she is. So so just a little bit more about one of my favourite goddesses, Selene. We will be back next week with some more videos. Until then, I hope everybody has a great weekend, and we'll chat soon. Bye!